Hi, how you doing? I'm Seth.
And I'm Will.
We're here today to do a product spotlight on the Kef brand.
Kef.
And also the Q950s. These big bad boys.
Yeah.
So, pretty excited about it. We've been wanting to do this for a while. And, life got in the way. We got busy.
Yeah, really busy.
What have you. But anyways, it's a little, it's Kef time. So, we'll talk about the technology. And we'll talk about one of the competitive advantages that Kef has. We'll talk about some songs we listened to and why they were great or why they were not great. And we'll talk about a success story we had with Kef where we got Kef for one of our clients who was stoked at the end result. We'll talk about how all that went down.
Feel good story of the year.
Feel good story, yep. And then we'll just talk about, who might not want Kef.
Yeah, because they're not for everyone.
Yep. So initially, let's talk about their biggest claim to fame, I'd say, which is this Uni-Q driver array. So, got a tweeter here in the center.
Yeah.
1.5-inch aluminum tweeter.
Love it.
Got our 8-inch driver right here, and you'll notice that they're right on top of each other. And so the big thing there is if we take a conventional speaker, here's your tweeter up above.
Yep.
Here's your mid-range down below. Well, imagine this like a flashlight. Imagine you got your 2 ears there, which most of you probably have 2 ears, right? This is going to your 2 ears if you're sitting here in this chair. Your mid-range is beaming from a different location to those 2 ears. And once they get there, your ears and your brain got to do a little bit of math. They got to figure things out and go, okay, here's this sound, how do I put this together to give me the effect and the sound and let me know what's going on?
Yeah.
In that processing, things can go awry.
Oh, for sure, 100%. Like being in a car when your tweeters are up here, your drivers are down here. Like that your eyes and ears don't always combine the two. Some people don't care and don't notice it, but yeah. If you don't process it right, then you'll notice it.
Yeah. So Kef, they said, well, we got some pretty good engineers, and I think they figured this out like 50 years ago or something. What they did is they said, we're going to make this point source speaker where they're both coming from the same point.
Yeah.
And by having your tweeter and your mid-range originate from that same location, it cuts down on that math, on that figuring that the brain's got to do to put things together and make things make sense.
Yeah, it's alien-like technology.
Alien, maybe we got it from the aliens. They talk about pyramids and everything else. Maybe this also came from the aliens.
Roswell, Kef, yeah.
Could be.
Might be related.
So, anyway, when we get into our listening, we'll talk about some of the benefits that we saw out of Uni-Q, and actually in our success story, that was something that was important as well. So
yeah.
Imagine the top of this, we cut this off. This is all its own entity. So there's bracing inside. This is all blocked off, almost like a bookshelf.
Yep.
Then down below, we got our 8-inch driver. We got 2 passive radiators. So basically it's porting through these passive radiators to help give you more bass. There's no port on the back of these guys.
Nope.
So this is what they call a 2.5-way design. 91 dB sensitive, so pretty sensitive. You can push it with basically any audio video receiver out there. You don't need to pay for crazy power. And crossed over at 2.2 kilohertz for you techie guys. So very big, very large. I forget the weight on these. I probably should have checked that before we started.
Yeah, I forget the weight, but
they're at least 10,000 pounds, at least.
Yeah.
You'll think they're 10,000 pounds if you carry them up the stairs.
If you move it, just use your foot dolly, you can get by.
There you go. They're 50 pounds, 55 pounds.
Yeah, and then the binding posts are just a regular binding post. They're not bi-wired, so if you're going to be bummed out about that, then they're probably not for you. But being just regular binding posts, they're
45.5 pounds.
Thank you, sir. And there's also ideas behind if bi-wiring is a good or bad thing. Like Sumiko Audio, high-end audio company, they were always against it. They said, hey, instead of doing the bi-wiring and dealing with different crossovers and that, it's better to just put that additional money into higher-end speaker wire.
Yeah.
But that's for another
It's like religion and politics, so you don't talk about it.
Just not talk about it.
Why did I even bring it up?
Yep. So anyways, and one of our guys, Mark, who's back over here somewhere. Say hi, Mark.
Hi.
These are actually Mark's. So, he works for a speaker company. He can basically have any speaker he wants, and he chose to go with Kef because he likes the sound. But so let's talk about what we listened to with these guys.
Let's do it.
So first we listened to To Zion by Lauryn Hill. Great track. Initially we got a bunch of string guitar kicking in. Then I don't know if this is string guitar. This was my move for string guitar. This actually isn't string guitar, but anyway, we got string guitar. then have some deep bass that kicks in, and then her vocals. She's a great vocalist and a bunch of stuff going on.
Yep.
Certain speakers, there are genres of music that don't really work for them. So if I love Tupac, I go to the speaker store, I want the best speaker for Tupac, they probably wouldn't pitch you these Martin Logan electrostats.
Yeah, no way.
Which these types of speakers are great for certain types of music. Actually, certain types of music, I don't think you can beat them. But there's kind of a gap between your low mids to high bass where it's not exactly seamless. And these guys did a great job in that track where you have deep bass and stuff of recreating that. And then also her vocals are dead center. And that's gonna be a recurring theme as we talk about this, because the imaging from these things are just insane.
She was up here, little Lauryn Hill was up here. Her voice was image perfect.
Somehow these make her 7'6". I mean, she's shorter than that,
she was standing on top of here as the stage.
I got that. That makes sense. Perfect. All right, so then we had a little "Fly Me to the Moon" by Frank Sinatra.
Oh, Blue Eyes.
Yep, that was great. Imaging in that was dead center.
Trumpets, Old Blue Eyes, and that's just Old Blue Eyes standing on the ground, not on the stage.
Yep. Dead center. These sound. So these sell for $2,200 a pair. These sounded better than $2,200 pair of speakers should. That track 100%. Was amazing with these. So then listen to a little bit of Keith Don't Go by Nils Lofgren. I don't know if that's the way you're supposed to say his name every time. It's just more fun.
Yeah, it has a little Swedish German ring to it.
Yep. Sweden known for their Swedish fish, and Nils Lofgren.
Never had Swedish fish.
You missed out.
Yeah.
The greatest candy of the 70s right there. They were good. So about 2 minutes of guitar in that. And
he's plucking away at those strings, yeah.
Yep, and the guitar is fantastic. We did a product spotlight a while ago, and we talked about a bunch of speakers, but we talked about like Focal. And Focal, if you're drummer cymbal guy, cymbal, when it hits, it sounds just like a cymbal. It's like, it's not a tweeter making a cymbal sound, it's a cymbal in my room. These things do that for guitar. And as opposed to guitar string being plucked, you hear fat finger, if you had a fat finger hitting the string, fat finger coming off the string, reverberation of the string. It's I'll keep saying this, but they sound better than $2,200 speakers should sound.
The bassiness out of it was working through the sub in the middle, and then you could obviously the radiators were doing their job.
Yeah, the guitar sounded big.
Yeah.
It sounded like this is a presentation here. This is an instrument.
Yeah, and then we did test it with and without a subwoofer, just the floor standards by themselves, and then we mated these Q950s with a little KC62 Kef subwoofer, and they sounded good with and without the subwoofer.
Yep, the little bad boy. So this subwoofer down here, which is I think it's made of meteorite. It's got to weigh at least 3,000 pounds, wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
at least 3,000.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but maybe 40-ish or so. But we'll talk about the sub, and we'll put a blog article about that, just why it rocks. But then we did a little "Homeless" by Paul Simon, and Paul Simon always has good stuff because it either sounds like you're in the forest, or maybe he actually has like frogs and howler monkeys on stage or something in the concert.
Yeah, that'd be cool if you did.
It would. I don't know how you train the howler monkey, aside from like give it a Twinkie or something. Here you go, make this sound, and I'll give you a Twinkie and a couple Reese's Pieces.
Well, I wasn't going to say you could ask Michael Jackson for the tip, but he's not here anymore. So.
Yeah, it might be hard to ask him.
Too soon.
But with Homeless, again, it was just kind of that detail and the stage that it painted. So it was hearing sound. I don't know if you can see me way over here, but I mean, you're hearing sound out here beyond the speaker where you shouldn't. You're hearing sound out there beyond the speaker you shouldn't. Just a whole wall of sound.
Yeah.
Now I will repeat the third time, that they sound better than $2,200 and speakers should sound. And they sound fantastic.
Yeah, I've never taken mushrooms, but I can picture if I did, if you heard those sounds, I could imagine it being something like that.
Because there is some crazy stuff in that particular track. Lots of, hoo, hoo, hoo. Maybe, I don't know if that was a howler monkey or that's just a man going hoo, hoo, hoo. But that doesn't encapsulate the track here.
Yeah.
So my 3 sounds I just made don't sum up why that track is great.
Herbie Hancock uses a lot of those sounds too.
He does.
Yeah.
He's probably got some animals around doing the same kind of thing.
Like weird
Parrots,
flutes and whistles,
macaws,
and animals,
So we'll talk about a success story we had with Kef. So we had a client came in, or called us initially, and said, hey, I'm having a problem hearing vocals, and I want to hear stuff better from my TV.
Yeah. Most
of the time, and he had a 2-channel setup. So he had some Martin Logan, what are called Advantages, which were a $5,000 to $6,000 pair of speakers when we bought them. A lot like these electrostats with built-in powered subs. He had a Krell integrated amp. And so most of the time it's okay, let's get you a surround sound receiver. That way you have a dedicated center channel. You get a center speaker, you're able to turn that speaker up. It's just playing vocals, it's more anchored to the TV and things can sound better. But when we talked to him more, we realized it wasn't just with video content, but he would be listening to Homeless by Paul Simon. He's like, man, I'm having a problem hearing vocals. And he's a guy that really understood audio theory and good sound. He had been in the industry for about 60 years in both engineering and broadcast. He understood good sound. So when we talked to him and we kind of realized that, we said, hey, you know what? You might be a Uni-Q guy. You might be Kef guy. So came in, had a listen. We listened to a bunch of different speakers. We listened to speakers that are a lot like his Vantage ones, same design. Listened to the Motion 60s. We had listened to the Kefs, and he was Kef guy. He said, man, those sound much clearer. So we took out his Vantage, popped in the Kef, which are literally 1/3 the price. And plus he bought those Vantage a while ago, so with inflation, they're probably $1 million at this point. You factor in level of inflation.
He probably paid close to 10 grand with that Krell amp and out the door.
But he was blown away with the Kef. And so for us, it was really nice to see somebody who understood good audio and really appreciated it. We were able to kind of put the pieces together to get him something that would work better for his room. Because one of the problems was an electrostatic speaker, like he had, sends sound not just out the front, but out the back. And so his room was kind of challenging. He had a corner right here, so he was getting a lot of reverb there. That side was open, so sound kind of goes all over the place. And you don't have sound coming from one area. You know, in an electrostatic speaker, you've got all your highs and your mids coming from this wide range here. So by us eliminating all this background sound from the dipole coming off the back of the speaker, by having something where the treble and mids were coming right from the same location, for him it was night and day, and he's a happy client.
It goes to show that you can outgrow your speaker, whether you mature above it, and there's always going to be a speaker that can be mated to your ears for whatever age they're at. Whether you're 16 or whether you're 90.
And it is nice too when you don't have to necessarily go, oh, your old speakers were $6,000. We need to sell you $20,000 speaker to get better sound. We're actually able to, from a price point, downgrade him and give him better performance and a solution that he loved. So that was a success story. I would say the only downsides to these speakers are, one, if you want tiny speakers, well, that's not tiny. So something a little bit larger. They are bassy. So bass can be tough with any speaker to deal with in certain rooms. So like this guy's room has a corner right here. Put a speaker in a corner, you're going to get a lot of bass. So you know, with that one, we tried to move it out of the corner a little bit. We didn't have a lot of room to do it, but we moved it out a little bit to cut down on some of the bass. Also, because they are bassy, you'll find that, let's say here's your wall. As you move a speaker out from the wall, there's going to be certain bass nodes in the room where you might move it 4 inches, and it's like, hey, there's more bass. You might move it 2 more inches forward. Oh, there's less bass. 6 more inches. Oh, there's more bass. And you can find the best bass nodes in the room. That's something that could be important for certain people.
100%. I wonder too if his shiny furniture was not helping that sound either.
That's a great point. You do have that. If you've got a glass top like this, sound will reflect off that, and that's not a good thing.
It was like lacquered.
That crazy lacquered.
Like paint, like a car paint almost.
Yep, it was a beautiful piece.
Oh, it was
not great for audio. And then I would say they're a little bit forward the sound characteristic. So if I was super flat speaker guy, I might not be a fan of that. because that sound just comes forward a little bit. I
Yep.
think for me it's great because it makes for better imaging.
I
It
like
makes for the
that,
guitar to really stand out.
Yeah.
But they do sound a little bit forward. But
I'm a fan. Right out of the box, I knew. I'm like, oh yeah, like, right, yeah. 20 seconds in, I knew. You didn't have to convince me into them. Yeah.
I give them 2 thumbs up.
But one more thing.
Oh, good man.
They're missing something.
What are they missing, viewers? Missing the grills. So these guys do not come with grills out of the box. The grills are about $200 for the pair of these. You buy center channel, you need the grill. Speakers actually sound better without grills. That's a universal. So I guess Kef says, well, do you want to pay for something? Because all grills that come with speakers, I mean, you're paying for it and you don't know it.
I'm pretty sure Kef himself, his wife, is like, you better make grills for those. I don't care if they didn't come with them. You better make some grills.
Well, if you have pokey 4-year-old nephew as well, he might like to poke the drivers. That happened to me previously.
Kids these days, they don't know what sticking a peanut butter sandwich in a VCR is. Like, they don't. That's not a thing anymore.
You can't really stick a peanut butter sandwich inside the speaker.
Or you can't poke the speaker either.
Right. Well, yeah, you can poke it because you can't put the peanut butter sandwich inside anymore. So there, you got to poke it.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that's a great point. So with these guys, you do need to buy grills if you want grills, or you just leave these things looking modern and beautiful like this.
And then color options, they have some amazing colors. Like I don't know, whoever is in their design house does some really cool modern / contemporary styling and colors. They got like a walnut cabinet with the black like woofers, and then obviously the white with the silver. And then what's the other color? Blue.
Well, I know when you get into also their step-up series, you can get they have like the champagne or whatever they call the one color. And
so I think it's just 3, then the all black, the white, and then the walnut for the Q series.
But no, we really like them a lot, and we hope you do too. Please like and subscribe if you want more product spotlights and other things down the road. But thanks for tuning in.
Yep, have a good one.
Have a good day.